I was a Montessori teacher.
And I wasn't. So, like many of you, I didn't know anything at all about Montessori. Or at least like many of you, until you enrolled your kids at Tattle Creek. Anyway, to impress Orla, I studied up.
And I was impressed. And we were very happy. But our universe had yet to be created. Then there was a big... and the son, or in our case a daughter, was born. Our world was chaos, but occasionally we had time to look ahead to events that seemed so far in the future they may as well have been stars in the heaven, millions of light years away. First steps, starting Casa, buckling their own seat belt, and finishing grade 6.
Time passed, some days and nights more slowly than others. Our world began to take shape like the earth did so long ago. At first, our family was like a solid, tightly bound, never moving far from each other, happy only when we were all together. But solids can change into liquids, and it's time for our children to move a little away from us and savor some independence of their own. As they went up the steps to Tattle Creek those first days, they were like liquids, spreading out to fill a new container.
And behind them, liquids may have been running down the faces of some of the mummies. But over time, separation was slowly replaced by connection. Some days, the only adults I spoke to were the smiling teachers, relaying touching or amusing stories about our children. Wonderful, lasting friendships have been formed with the teachers and with the parents in the school, friendships that will continue long after we've left Tattle Creek.
As we know, atoms of Earth were all given the rules by which to live. We were too. Though, unlike the atoms, some of us didn't quite follow the rules all the time.
Atoms make up everything, but they're so tiny that we sometimes forget they're there. Things that happen in a Montessori classroom are a bit like that. Concentration. It's impossible to weigh, but without it there's no real learning. Grace and courtesy. Difficult to put a finger on, but with them our lives are loving and peaceful. It's impossible to quantify the self-discipline, empathy and kindness that is nurtured during the Casa class years, but its presence is easy to see in the 6th grades who sit here next to us.
All particles are attracted to some of their counterparts more than others. Friendships form. The elementary class can seem like a blazing mass of confusion, need for fairness, and even hormones. But the children are consciously building themselves as people. With great awareness, they work on their relationships, mastering challenges to build their community. These are essential life skills.
The early months of grade 6 are somewhat manic, as everyone searches for the best place for next year. Hard decisions have to be made, as people decide what's going to suit them best for the next step of their educational journey. At this point, parents are tearing their hair out, and I don't mind saying, because it's happened to me twice already, that in January I was thinking, spending another year at Tattle Creek would be a great idea. There's no way my child's ready to move to another school. Indrani and Amy cautioned patience, and then decisions were made, and a change happened in the children. And suddenly, I was wondering how Tattle Creek was going to be able to contain them for another few months.
The children, like the earth, look calm and collected on the outside. But underneath that cool demeanor, there's a seething core of excitement, determination, and fear that erupts at the oddest times. Their characters have been guided, molded, and formed, and it's our hope that these eruptions can help build, layer by layer, kind, determined, and strong adults who can uphold the principles that they've learned at home and at Tattle Creek.
Now, at this point of the story, the earth becomes old and wrinkled, like an elderly apple. Well, since we started at Tattle Creek, there certainly are some new wrinkles, and the stress of being on time has caused Mark to positively waste away. However, with this developing maturity comes a little more clarity. There's been laughter and tears over the years, and just as the rain helped clear the Earth's atmosphere, the pressure of the preceding months has disappeared, and we are granted a time of clarity to look at our children, to appreciate Anna's gentle patience, Derek's calmness and centeredness, Neve's sense of humour, Violet's awareness of people's feelings, Anthony's intense kindness with the younger children, and Oisin's fantastic lemon squares.
There's a wonderful world out there, the world you've been learning about in your classrooms. You're ready to leave the comfort and safety of Tattle Creek and explore that world, prepared with your ability to make friends and to make new people love you the way you've made the people here love you. If life is a journey, Tattle Creek is your base camp. Each of you has filled your inner backpacks with a set of social, emotional, and intellectual tools. You're ready to assume more control over your lives, to make more of your own choices, and to experience the results. You're ready to climb your own mountains, perhaps even your own volcanoes.
Your parents and teachers are in a weird position now. We want you to both stay here and to move on. There'll be tears tomorrow, possibly some today, but no, they are tears of joy and pride at the wonderful people you have become. We're going to finish with a quote from Dr. Montessori herself. What we need is a world full of miracles, like the miracle of seeing a young child seeking work and independence and manifesting a wealth of enthusiasm and love. You are our miracles. Go and make us proud.